We start KVUE News at 5:30 with breaking news. Dozens of Texas House Democrats have left the state of Texas, preventing that chamber from being able to conduct any business. I'm Darenisha Heron.
And I'm Ashley Goodo. Now, this comes as the Texas House was set to take a vote tomorrow on a bill to redraw the congressional district map, potentially creating 5 more Republican districts.
KVUE's Adam Bennett was just outside the tarmac as Democrats loaded a private plane to leave the state. He joins us now live from the airport. Adam?
Well, Darenisha and Ashley, about 9:30 this morning, a House committee placed that new bill with the proposed new maps on the House's calendar for tomorrow. Then about 6 hours later, right here in this parking lot, 3:30 this afternoon, we saw the first Democrats from the Texas legislature arrive here and park in their private vehicles in this lot directly behind me. A short time later, many more arrived by bus. And just before 4, that is when we saw them on the tarmac, mostly casually dressed, going through what looked like almost a security pat down, checking in at a desk, and then they began to board one by one. State Representative James Tallarico of Austin is one of the members on board. He says his Republican colleagues left them no choice.
But Texas Democrats are fighting back. We're leaving the state, breaking quorum, and preventing Republicans from silencing our voices and rigging the next election. We are not fighting for the Democratic Party. We are fighting for the democratic process, and the stakes could not be higher. We have to take a stand.
Now, as news of the Democrats leaving Texas spread, Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives Dustin Burrows posted this on X, writing, quote, "The Texas House will be convening at 3 p.m. tomorrow. If a quorum is not present then, to borrow the recent talking points from some of my Democrat colleagues, all options will be on the table." Now, lawmakers did not speak to us before boarding the plane this afternoon. They were in that plane on the tarmac for a while. They only took off about 15 minutes or so ago, but they do plan on holding a news conference once they arrive in Chicago in just a couple of hours. Reporting live in Southeast Austin, Adam Bennett, KVUE News.
Adam, thank you. We want to take some time now to take a deeper look at the map. What is happening that's prompting the Democrats to break quorum? So this is the current congressional district map. This is a look at the proposed map in House Bill 4 that they're talking about flipping. Let's zoom in and talk about the changes. And one of them is really significant. It is to our Central Texas area. Right now, there are 2 districts that make up Austin, 37 and 35 largely. You can see in the new map that District 35 is completely changed. It goes all the way south now, not having any of the Austin area. And so instead, 37, and then you stick the rest of Travis County and the Austin area into District 27, which goes all the way down south. We're talking about Victoria County, Wharton County, very east. That is what some people say would cancel out those Democratic votes. Now, if we take a look at what would happen in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, really 2 districts to look at here. It's 33 and 32 right now on the current map. Over here, you can see that 33 then takes up most of that area and 32 gets pushed north and again east. And that is what some people say would knock out some of those Democrat votes. So in Austin, I should have mentioned that's Congressman Greg Casar's district in the DFW area. It is Representative Julie Johnson. There are 2 districts to watch in the Rio Grande Valley. It's 28 and 34. You see them here. They're on the edges. In the proposed map, each of those districts go further north, presumably into counties to include counties that the president, Donald Trump, won in the last election. So that puts the seats of Representative Henry Cuellar in 28 and Vicente Gonzalez in 34 at jeopardy. And then in the Houston area, what happens here, there are 3 main districts to watch. It is 9, 29, and 18. And what happens is District 9, represented by Al Green, essentially becomes District 18. 29, represented by Sylvia Garcia, becomes some of what was 18 and a little bit of what she had there. But then District 9 shifts further east again. And as we go east, we get into more rural parts of Texas. And that presumably would allow a Republican to take this seat that was held by the late Representative Sylvester Turner. Darenisha.
Thanks, Ashley. We are hearing some Democrats may have stayed behind in Texas, but more than 50 left, which is enough to break quorum. There are 150 members in the Texas House of Representatives, and you need 2/3 to have a quorum. So that's 100 members. Right now, the House is made up of 88 Republicans and 62 Democrats. So if all of the Republicans and 12 Democrats are at the Capitol tomorrow afternoon when the House meets, there will be a quorum. If they are not, the chamber won't be able to conduct any business.
Now, the first special session lasts until August 19th, so the Democrats would have to stay gone for 16 days to stop the map this time around. But remember, back in 2021, when Democrats broke quorum to try and stop a voter reform bill, Governor Greg Abbott simply called more special sessions. Last week, I asked State Representative Gina Hinojosa from Austin about the long game of breaking quorum this time around. Here's what she had to say.
Here's what I know. When we broke quorum in 2021, we ended up winning for the day. And then it turned out that we shone such a spotlight on the Republicans' bill that would have banned Sunday morning voting, targeting souls to the polls to end that tradition. It would have allowed an elected judge to overturn the will of the voters and overturn election results. They were so embarrassed by what they had put in, literally in the middle of the night, that they dropped those provisions from the bill and they gutted their own bill. We could not have known that when we broke quorum to win for the day. So my lesson there is we fight to win for today, and tomorrow we deal with that.
The House is set to convene at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We will continue to follow this story on air and online.